Now from the banks of the Ohio River, we welcome you to Paycor Stadium in downtown Cincinnati, Ohio. Here's Evan McPherson. And off we go here in Cincinnati. Justice Hill to return. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. They'll motion over Flowers. Out of the gun, they'll throw to get things going. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield.
I think this is something we're going to continue to see today, Mike, as this game goes along. They're going to make the defense make a decision. Do you want to account for the running back, or do you want to account for the quarterback? In this case, they choose the running back, and the quarterback makes them pay by picking up the first down.
This one caught downfield by Flowers. That's 2 catches on this drive. This one for 23 yards.
Well, there's fast starts, Mike, and then there's this. It just seems like it's completion after completion, and now they find themselves in plus territory. Every team has their fringe red zone down to their red zone plan, and once you cross midfield, you got to be thinking 6, at the worst 3, but you're coming away with points.
And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
The drag route. We used to say this is day 1 install. Every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position. And depending on the speed and the run after catch ability of the tight end, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest gains.
Right back to Andrews. He's got another one. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
And he's come out of the game on fire here, Mike, early. He's yet to throw an incompletion on this opening drive. And as he now approaches the opponent's side of the field and they start thinking points on that other sideline, this defensive play caller has to be looking at that call sheet saying, what can I do to slow this guy down? Because with the way this game has started, he could be in for a big day.
It's the tight end Likely in motion. Now the Ravens' big-ticket free agent acquisition. It's Derrick Henry. And he's just pushing guys out of the way, powering forward for a gain of 8.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You got to have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
Jackson on 3rd and 2. And this is going to be incomplete. That's great work to get in there and make things difficult defensively, setting up a 4th down.
That was a perfectly timed hit, and I think it actually saved 6 points, Mike. He got there just as the ball did, and I think it was the contact that separated him from the ball.
Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens will take a 3-0 lead.
A lot of times as an offensive player, you come off the field, you're not thrilled to end a drive like this with a field goal. But I think in this case, you can label it a success. You were able to operate your offense. You were able to quiet this crowd just a little bit and come away with an early lead.
3 points on that opening drive. We'll see the response as the kick's away. Jones now on the return. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And they'll be set up well as he is past the 35-yard line. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Burrow gonna open by putting it up. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
Even though it doesn't result in a sack, when you dial up the right pressure at the right time, Mike, sometimes that's all it takes to lead to that incompletion. The timing is just a little off between the quarterback and his intended target, and the ball falls incomplete.
2nd down, Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
He decides to go with this safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
Well, can't afford another incompletion here. Quickly, it is 3rd and 10. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a 1st down. 11 yards as they move the chains.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds. The drag route is certainly not the most complicated route on the route tree, but a really nice job there using the scheme to create separation. He did a really nice job there working across the middle of the field as he made himself open.
2nd and a yard. They bring Chase in motion. Burrow here on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down after a gain of 3, but that is good enough for a 1st down. Working out of the gun, Burrow gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. They go play action for Burrow. Quick throw here is complete. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the 1st down.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. Everyone talks about being balanced. But as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early, and that last pickup leads to a 1st down. When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. That is caught at the 3. And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5.
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's 1st and goal.
To throw is Burrow. And he's going to be down close to the goal line. Good job defensively to make sure he did not get to the end zone.
These are the worst. I had a couple years, Mike, where I swear I got tackled inside the 1-yard line 10 times. And then you look back and you're like, man, how many touchdowns did I leave on the board because I couldn't get one more yard? Now, For him individually, not ideal, but right now they're on the doorstep of the end zone, and they got to find a way to put that ball across the goal line. In these goal-to-go situations backed up on your own goal line, Mike, what they teach the defense is it's your job to establish a new line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what they did here. Watch the push they get. The offensive line goes backwards, and they take the ball carrier down for a loss.
Burrow from out of the gun here on third down. And he will take this one across into the end zone. Joe Burrow. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The defense comes up with the coverage, but they cannot keep up with the speed as the quarterback scrambles to the end zone for the touchdown.
And down here in the red zone, Mike, is where I think a quarterback's legs can be the most dangerous. The defenders are trying to match backs, match tight ends and receivers, but often it's the quarterback that has no one assigned to him, and in this case, he's able to capitalize and run it in himself.
After the TD, on is McPherson to kick this one away. Here comes Hill on the return. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Ravens offense ready to possess the football for the second time. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. They'll motion over Flowers. On 1st and 10, Jackson. That's into the hands of Flowers. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
In motion comes Andrews. Jackson now on 2nd down. Now a screen set up for Henry. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. I think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
Jackson now to throw on 1st down. And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete. Zay Flowers, the intended receiver, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
I think he just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage. We see quarterbacks do that all the time, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
Open man is Bateman. He's got him. And he will get into the end zone. Rashad Bateman. Touchdown, Baltimore. What a job to finish the play with a touchdown. The catch and carry, and the carry part, Greg, that was the most impressive there.
Well, you said it, Mike. The catch was nice, but it's what can you do after the catch that really separates guys in this league. And in this case, he did plenty because it ended up in a touchdown.
Out there is Tucker, and he'll kick this one away after the touchdown was scored. Jones now on the return. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense ready for their 2nd possession. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. Burrow to throw. Quick throw, taken in, and they're going to mark him down up past the 35.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass, get past the 1st down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here. You can drop all the fancy plays you want, but when the quarterback and the receiver see it through the same set of eyes, it's virtually impossible to stop.
He was trying to get it to Jamar Chase, and it'll be 2nd down. They bring Chase in motion. Now a 2nd down throw for Burrow. He's going nowhere. Going to lose yardage on that play.
What an impressive play by this linebacker. I mean, Mike, back in the day, you would never see a linebacker take down a wide receiver in the open field like that. But these guys are tremendous athletes who can really hold their own in space. And he killed that play before it even had a chance to develop.
Gesicki, the man in motion. Burrow. Throwing over the middle. This one is complete. He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short. And now it's 4th down. A touchdown apiece here in the 1st quarter of play. It's the Ravens out front. Greg and I back here in Cincinnati after this. The Bengals ready to punt this one away. Deep for the Ravens, it's Deontay Hardy. And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. So here's the Baltimore offense getting set for their next drive. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Aguilar goes off in motion. On 1st down, they'll start the drive with Henry. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. On the option, they give it to Henry. And the defense right on that. I don't know if keeping would have done any better. No gain on that one.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
It's the tight end Likely in motion. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Rashad Bateman, the intended target. And that's going to lead to a 4th down.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average. And frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
Now, fair catch called, and he's going to take it out beyond the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense ready to take over once again. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Three tight ends in the game to start the drive. They'll start this on the ground with Moss. He'll try to push forward. He'll wind up getting 3 yards with that one. The veteran Kyle Van Noy in on the tackle. They face second down and 7. Burrow now. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
Now, Burrow. And that is incomplete.
The most important stat, Mike, to determine wins and losses in the NFL is clearly turnover differential, your ability to protect the ball and on defense, take the ball away. And for any offense, that's even more critical when you have the ball on your side of the field.
On comes the punter now. He'll be looking for something a little better than that first effort, which he shanked. And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The Ravens offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll start out first down and 10. Aguilar goes off in motion. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. Second down and 8. Play action now. Jackson. That's over the middle and intercepted. That's the linebacker, Logan Wilson. And he's going to be brought down. What a turn of events here. He has given his guys first and 10 in the red zone. Catch left side is made by Higgins.
I wouldn't be surprised if some point here in the future, Mike, this quarterback drops back. It looks like the same old hitch route underneath we've seen a few times, and they give a pump fake and go. You can lull a defense to sleep with a lot of these underneath quick game passes, and once you do, you can try to go for the big one.
He's got it inside the 5. And the Bengals are going to have a first and goal coming up. They try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Sudden change. So you find yourself defensively a little bit on your heels. Your offense just turned the ball over, and now you've got to go out and make a stand. Well, so far this offense has moved the ball pretty quickly, but can they dig in and at least force a field goal?
And he will fight his way to the end zone. Zach Moss. Touchdown, Bengals. So the turnover turns into a quick touchdown, and Greg, that's exactly how you want your offense to take care of business.
Anytime your defense can create those sudden change situations, Mike, absolutely, you have to take advantage of it. 1 second, you're sitting on the bench going over your next drive. All of a sudden, after that turnover, you've got to be able to get out on the field and go, take advantage of the short field, and results in a nice touchdown.
After the TD, on is McPherson to kick this one away. Hardy now with the return. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. The Ravens offense ready to get back at it. They'll start it here with a first and 10. Aguilar goes off in motion. A first down throw for Jackson. This one complete to Bateman. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. they'll pick up the first down, a gain of about 4.
You can see the eyes of the quarterback. He's trying to push this ball initially downfield, but with the defense doing a good job keeping a lid on the coverage, he's forced to check this ball down to the shallow route. But this is something that they know in the future. If I need a couple yards, they can come back to this play.
A give right up the middle to Henry. He looks forward for maybe a yard. Jermaine Pratt up to make the stop. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go again here with Henry. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield.
First down run here by Henry, and he signed with the Ravens this offseason. I mean, you think back to that run he had with the Titans, Mike, over the last 6 seasons, over 8,200 yards, 80 touchdowns. I mean, one of the most productive backs we've seen in a long time. Now it's kind of scary to think he gets to join Lamar Jackson in this Baltimore backfield. They hope the two of them can be that combo to finally get this Baltimore team over the hump. The decision whether to keep the ball or to hand it to the back happens so fast. In this case, the quarterback thinks it was a keep read. The defense was there ready to stop him. Tackle for loss.
It's the tight end Likely in motion. They'll try to throw here with Jackson. The throw on the run is complete. He had their lone touchdown of the game earlier, and he comes through with the catch and a first down in this spot.
Great pre-snap recognition here by the quarterback. He looks outside and sees man coverage, and he knows exactly where he's going to go with the ball. Now it's up to the receiver to create separation at the top of the route. Ball's on time, great placement, nice big pickup.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's not going to get away. They track him down.
This is where the playmaking ability almost can be a detriment to a running quarterback. They have such confidence in their ability to keep plays alive with their legs that sometimes they hold it just a little bit too long, thinking they can make the next big play. And good job by the defenders tracking him down and took him down for a loss.
Second down, Jackson. There's a short one caught by Andrews. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down. They need to get this to the 23. Here's 3rd down. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand. So it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens are back within a point. It's 14-13.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
So Tucker is back out after making the field goal. He'll kick this one away. This is fielded inside the 5. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. Heading out now, the Cincinnati offense. They're going to get set to take over once more. Their lead is just a point as they begin it on this drive with 1st and 10. They bring Chase in motion. On 1st and 10, Burrow. To the left side, caught by Chase. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Working out of the gun, Burrow. That's to his big tight end, Gesicki. And they'll work this close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad short.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
Now this is going to be a design run. They let him keep it, and he's going to be taken down as we hit the 2-minute warning here in this 1st half.
Sometimes, Mike, the best plan is also the simplest plan. And for this team, just snap the ball to your quarterback, let him find some daylight, and go get that 1st down himself.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Open man is the tight end, Sample. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but 1st down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
And that is incomplete.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Ravens offense going to see what they can do in the final minute of this 1st half. The deficit is 1, as they'll search now for that go-ahead score. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. In motion comes Andrews. On 1st and 10, Jackson. The pressure gets there, and down he goes. A sack. The visitors' offense going to take over here in the final minute of this 1st half. They'll begin inside their own 15-yard line, so a lot of real estate to cover. It's 1st and 10. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Back to throw, Jackson. That's over the middle to the tight end, Andrews. Now a timeout here by Baltimore. That's going to be their 2nd. They get the stoppage with just over 50 seconds to play in this 1st half. Got to get it to the 30. Here comes 3rd down. Throwing Jackson. Now, deep ball for Bateman. That is knocked away downfield, incomplete. He made sure not to let the receiver get behind him. 3rd down stop sets up 4th down.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it, continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
The Bengals offense going to take over here in the last minute of this 1st half. They'll begin with 1st and 10. To throw is Burrow. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down.
It's always a risky decision anytime a quarterback tries to force the ball, especially into those tightly contested areas. Not a lot of daylight, not a lot of room for error. In this case, it just falls simply as an incomplete. But as this game unfolds, better decisions are going to lead to better results.
T. Higgins, the intended receiver on that one. And it'll be third down.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with a lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback.
Burrow from out of the gun here on third down. And on third down, that ball incomplete.
Not exactly the type of drive to write home about, Mike. 3 passes, 3 incompletions, no yards gained. And I really can't blame any of these fans who have continued to voice their frustration, especially after that last series of play calls.
Here's the punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The visitors' offense going to get it one final time in this first half. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Now, Jackson. That's to the right side. He's got Andrews.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground in line, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Jackson now on 2nd down. That's thrown right side, but incomplete. Searching for his Pro Bowl tight end Mark Andrews that time. And 3rd down coming up.
Pretty clear approach here, Mike. You're just trying to take advantage of the size of your tight end versus a smaller defender, and you're just saying box him out and go up for an offensive rebound and get the ball at its highest point. In this case, it falls incomplete, but if they continue to get that matchup, this quarterback's not going to shy away from giving his big tight end a shot.
And the offense will elect to burn a timeout. 5 seconds remaining in this 2nd quarter. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Jackson up top again. Oh, and he's going to go down. He could not get rid of it. And that's going to bring an end to this first half. Certainly a tightly contested first half, and you'd expect more of that here in the second half. A 1-point game as quarter 3 begins. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Bengals offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this 3rd quarter. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Throwing is Burrow. And that one incomplete.
Timing and trust. Critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Now, Burrow. A throw there on 2nd down, going to be incomplete.
Really nice job there by the defense defending the middle of the field. That is the most valuable real estate on the field. They know every single offense is trying to attack the defense between the hashes, so give credit. They took away all the throwing lanes, and that ball falls incomplete.
Burrow to throw. He's got his man on the in route. Yes, taken in over the middle. And he'll be stopped short of a first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. The visitors' offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. Jackson now to throw on first down. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend. So give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
And he'll move this forward out to the 29-yard line. Mike Hilton coming in to make the play. We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. Jackson. He gets that to the veteran Aguilar. 11 yards on the pass there. 1st down, Baltimore.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and it's exactly how they're able to pick up this big gain.
A 1st down throw for Jackson. A throw left side there, not going to find the target. Incomplete.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
They'll work straight ahead with Henry. And the D closes quickly. He's stopped after a gain of a yard. Von Bell, the veteran safety, is there on the play. Third down and 9. In motion comes Andrews. On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, in trouble. Down he goes.
When we met with him during the week, how did he describe himself to us, Mike? He said, I feel like I'm a student of the game. I feel like that's my advantage over my opponent. And as this game's unfolded, it's pretty clear to see why.
Ravens bring their punt team out. A fair catch signaled, and they'll have it just outside their own 20. The home team's offense ready for this next possession. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. Here's Burrow. Going right sideline and complete. And they are not going to catch up to him. He will score. 78 yards. Touchdown, Cincinnati. McPherson now for the PAT. It's up and good. And the Bengals extend the lead to 8. It's 21-13. After the TD, on is McPherson to kick this one away. Hardy now with the return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense ready to get back to work. The deficit is 8 as this drive begins with 1st and 10. It's the tight end Likely in motion. From the gun, Jackson. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
Here's Lamar. He'll keep it on the zone read. And a good job defensively to rally to the ball. They hold him to a short game.
Nice job by the defense. They had that one well read from the beginning, Mike. Someone's responsible for the running back, but the key here was the defender responsible for the quarterback. Stays with him, keeps him to a short game.
2nd down, Jackson. This one complete to Bateman. And he'll get about 6 before he's taken down. Here's 3rd and 2. He'll try and run for this with Henry.
If you send your field goal unit on the field, Mike, it gives you a chance to chip away at this deficit. But I think I'm keeping my offense on the field. I'm going to one of my critical plays on my call sheet. Keep this drive alive. The hope is to come away with 6.
The field goal unit on the sideline. They'll line up to go for it on 4th down. It's a zone read, and Jackson's going to keep it. And they'll finally run him down, but he takes it inside the 10-yard line.
When this offense is really in gear, Mike, a lot of it is because of the ability of Lamar Jackson running the football. He is what makes this thing go, and you can see why.
They've got it at the 8, 1st down and goal. Here's a run. A short game, down to the 7. Second and goal. Open man is Bateman. He's got him. A very nice open field tackle there. He could not get free and gains nothing.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
And he's in. Lamar Jackson. Touchdown, Ravens. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. That is a heartbreaker for the defense. They took away what he wanted to do in the air, Greg, but that scrambling ability gets him to the end zone for the touchdown.
And the reason he was able to take advantage with his legs here, Mike, is he made a fast decision realizing there was nowhere to go with the ball. The amount of guys the defense had in coverage took those passes away. He tucked the ball down, took advantage of the space, and he was able to take it all the way.
So back to level after the touchdown, and time for the kickoff. Very good kickoff. Returnable from the 4. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The home team's offense ready to come back out for this next possession. This one tight throughout, all level at 21, as they'll search for a go-ahead score. So they come to the line for first down and 10. Burrow. Taken in by Gesicki. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line.
This may look like a simple connection, Mike, just pitch and catch, but I can promise you the amount of time these two guys have spent together on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, just getting on the same page, seeing the game through the same set of eyes, it makes what's pretty difficult seem a lot easier.
A first down throw for Burrow. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield.
Well, so far here today, putting points on the board certainly hasn't been a problem, and plays like that are why. Think about it, Mike. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you and not force something that's not there, and that mid-range pass results in a fresh set of downs.
Play action now. It's Burrow. There's that man again. Another catch. Remember, he had the touchdown catch the last time they had the football. Here, he's got a first down.
Anytime you're playing zone defense and everybody's eyes are on the quarterback, it's really easy to lose sight of some of the receivers. That's exactly what happened here. He started all the way on the far side of the field and worked his way across, found a soft spot in the zone, and quarterback's able to put it on him.
On first and 10, Burrow. Catch left side is made by Higgins. And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5.
Well, they certainly aren't wasting any time marching down the field. I mean, you only need one hand to count how many plays they've run, and yet they find themselves first and goal inside the low red zone.
A couple of big plays, one after the other, and now it's first and goal. They'll run with Moss. They'll try to push forward, but only a yard down to the 2. The ball a little closer now. It is second and goal. One more time with Moss. And he won't quite get in. Down to the 1, setting up third and goal. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's one he'd love to have back. An opportunity to score 6 was right there for the taking. Just wasn't quite meant to be.
Well, a field goal would break the tie, but instead the offense stays out there. They're going to go for it on fourth and goal. They'll try it now with Moss. And he's not going to get there. The defense was ready for it, and they stuff him on 4th down.
Clearly, this coach thought this was a moment he could strike. Thought he had a play to get this one in the end zone to take a touchdown lead, but instead, the defense comes up with a huge stop, and we still got ourselves a tie ball game.
On 1st and 10, Jackson. Now a screen set up for Henry. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8.
You see so many teams wait till 3rd down to execute their screen game, but I like in this case the play caller changes things up. He uses the screen game on 1st down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screen play still in the back of their head.
And he is crushed in the backfield. Defenders firing through. Shut it down right away for a loss of yardage. So, 3 quarters now in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The crowd making their presence felt. This is 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. He'll try to hit him with a screen. That screen goes for 12, and that's a 1st down.
You get in these situations, 3rd down, tie game, 4th quarter. I mean, this is really where your quarterback makes his money. You are going to put your faith and say, all right, what is the best play for this offense to execute? And the game really rests in the hands of your quarterback, and he continues to come up with these 3rd down pickups and continues to extend this drive. He's got a shot to come away the hero and win this game here late.
And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. Second and 7. They'll run. Henry rumbles to the 1st down and more. And he'll wind up out of bounds past the 45-yard line. They get 21 on that one. Good for a Raven 1st down. They'll stick to the ground. Finding space inside the 40. They'll motion over Flowers. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. His throw on 1st down is going to be incomplete.
You hear quarterback coaches say it all the time. Let's get our guy easy completions. Well, that falls certainly into that category, Mike, but when you fail to connect on those, it just ends up being a wasted down.
They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Now Jackson. This throw right is taken in by Flowers.
Offensively, landing a lot of body blows on this drive, Mike. Just the ability to steadily march the ball downfield and remain so efficient, both run and pass. As they continue to wear this defense out, they have to find a way to end this drive with points. Anything short of that would be a bit of a letdown.
Throwing Jackson. A pass pulled in by Henry. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started. Well, you could tell that the defense had seen that play on game tape, and they were ready for it. They tried to do a little jet sweep pop pass out of the gun. Defense was all over it. Nowhere to go, no gain.
Jackson from the gun on third down. He'll go right and find his running back.
I think there's one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a fourth down decision to make.
This one has plenty of leg, and it is good. And they take the lead here in the fourth quarter.
And this has been such a tight game, but that's a big one right there. I mean, you need a kicker with confidence. Well, this guy, he fits the bill. He steps up and knocks it through to give his guys a lead here in the fourth quarter.
So they lead by 3 here in this fourth quarter. Now have to turn it over to the defense as they kick it off. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Bengals offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. They bring Chase in motion. Burrow now to throw on 1st down. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. Second down and 8. Working out of the gun, Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Sometimes it's those footsteps. I don't care how long you've been playing or at what level you've been playing at. When that defender's bearing down, you really get a good idea what guys are willing to go through contact to secure a catch, and in this case, what guys are unwilling.
Quick throw, taken in. And he is very close to the 1st down, but eyeball, he is shy of it. And they say it's 4th and inches.
The initial reaction is, how does this quarterback not throw the ball past the 1st down line to gain to try to extend this drive? And the reality is, because they've already decided they're going to go for it on 4th down. If he doesn't pick up the extra yards after the catch, they've got a 4th down play call they feel great about, and we're going to see what it looks like.
So here's the Baltimore offense getting set for their next drive. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Now Lamar going to hang on to it. And some good running there. He'll fall forward for about 7.
Good decision by the quarterback. In this situation, all you're looking to do is have a positive play. He decides to pull it, and that's exactly what he's able to do.
Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. A design run here with Jackson. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
You could see the quarterback, once he got the snap, he was looking for any seam, any daylight, but nothing materialized, and he's fortunate he got back to the line of scrimmage.
This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. He finds his receiver. That's Bateman. And he will take this one in. 73 yards. Touchdown, Baltimore. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the fourth quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the fourth quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Out there is Tucker, and he'll kick this one away after the touchdown was scored. Jones now on the return. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Bengals offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. Now, Burrow. That one finds Chase. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down. Burrow. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
Just seems like another case of predetermining where the quarterback is going to go with the ball. He had a lot of good route options on that last concept. I think if he just remains a little bit more patient, read the play out, let it unfold, will lead to some easier and better completions.
He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
This is one of those throws where I don't think the risk is worth the reward. If you're going to throw the ball into tight coverage and take a chance, it better lead to a big gain, and in this case, a pretty modest pickup, considering that was a risky throw.
Here's a 3rd down and 4. And that is incomplete.
They're lucky to have avoided this mistake here, Mike. In the fourth quarter, with possessions running out, that would have been a critical back-breaking play in this game, and they're going to have second life now after that defender drops the ball, and let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Trailing late, they've got to go here. It's 4th down. He's got his receiver. It's Jones. And they're going to get the 1st down. They were forced to go for it, and it's going to work out for them. Burrow now. And he'll get this forward for positive yardage as he covers up in the end. Brown. And he's going to be taken down, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Big, big play. 3rd and 2. They'll drop to throw. That's into the hands of Gesicki. He's got it.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allow the first down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the first down.
They've got all 3 timeouts left, but need to score quick. It's 1st and 10. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Laying out, and he made the catch. What a play. Now the Bengals are going to call the first of their timeouts. Clock stops with 1:06 to go in this one. Here's 1st down. Burrow to throw. He's got it inside the 5. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them down to the 1. Back to throw, Burrow. That's to the end zone, but they can't connect. It's incomplete.
So instead of celebrating a touchdown, he's just heading back to his huddle trying to keep his head up as everyone kind of looks at him sideways. If that ball hits your hands at this level, you've just got to make the catch. That's what your quarterback's counting on. That's what your teammates are counting on. Frankly, that's what this entire stadium is counting on.
Burrow here on 2nd down. To the end zone there, but it is incomplete.
You can feel them starting to press a little bit, especially with this passing game. They find themselves so close to the end zone, they got to get it over the goal line. You got to be a little bit more accurate. You got to be a little bit smarter with the ball, and right now, the timing, the spacing, it's just not matching up.
Burrow from out of the gun here on 3rd down. That is incomplete. And here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
And this one right down the middle. It's good. And they are indeed back within 1 score.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through and they get 3.
So the field goal makes it a 1-score game. And now they'll line up for the onside kick.
With the rule changes on kickoff, Mike, it's just so hard to really expect to recover an onside kick nowadays. There's a lot of people pushing for kind of a radical change to this. Hey, can we make it 4th and 15? Offense gets the go. If they convert it, they keep the ball. I'm not sure that ever happens, but we can see here an onside kick, not much of a chance.
The defense still with all 3 timeouts at their disposal as the quarterback's down to a knee. The Ravens offense headed back to take over once more. They'll have a short field looking to build on the lead. Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So it is a win here for the visitors, the Ravens. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did, and that was the difference in this one. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long, everyone.